YouTube fans, here again. I've not done this one for a bit, but I decided to do a TV show, why not? That being the last one that Leslie Nantham as Dirty Den. Now, as we know, may not know, it was revealed in 1988 that Leslie Nantham decided to leave the show. And BBC at the time, the ratings were big. Leslie Nantham was well known as Dirty Den. And they really did not want Leslie Nantham to leave. They begged him, they wanted him, they even wanted to offer him more dough, whatever. They just did not want Leslie Nantham to leave. It was not long after he had gone to his hands, he left the role and so on, and he decided he wanted to leave as well. But Dirty Den was popular. It was well known as a British villain. I mean, he was in it for some days at that time, and so on. So at the time of 1988, they did the one of those where Den went to prison, and so on. And they decided he still didn't want to leave. Now, they did two originally, two different endings. People may or may not know this. It was told in the newspaper. Leslie Nantham is Dirty Den, where he's facing the tin now, face down, and you got the idea he's been shot and he's dead. And it does, it did the ending, what we all know, with the done shot next to the daisies or lilies, whatever. You got the done, you got the splash, then you got the boom, 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 the EastEnders theme. So that's the ending we got because it does BBC did not want Leslie Nantham to leave. So decided to do the tift ending instead. So it happened back in that era, being 1989. It'd be the era when Leslie Nantham, Miss Dirty Den, would leave the show. So they did it with us. He was in court for what happened with the arson of Wilmot Pound, the dead ma, in with the Mafford family and so on. And they were going after him still. I told you got other actors and other down the road and other parts of the story of EastEnders of that episode, you know, and so on. But then we get to the bit where he meets Michelle near the canal. And he's doing this and he's stuck and everything. And Michelle told him to do the right thing. Turn yourself in. It's the only way to do it. And so on. Rather be on the run or you're going to be on the run for the rest of your life. So Dirty Den says, okay, I'll do that. And he does do the right thing, as we all seen that episode. And he's walking to the canal. He goes under the bridge. You've got the family walking next to him. And then you've got these two couple walking across. You think he's going to get away long with all day working for the Mafford family. And they've got the shot done. I've just said it, we wind back. And that's the episode we see. It's the ending of that. And then you've got the boom, 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 boom. And then you've got a few episodes of those where you're thinking what's happened and so on. And it does, Leslie Nantham did not come back. So they did the episode where the apparently found his body near the canal. But we do know in the later this, being 2005, Leslie Nantham came back to EastEnders. So we did the story where the one that shot him then jumped in the water. He got wounded and he played dead. They thought he was dead, but then he pulled back out the water. The woman who he was having the affair with saved his life. The actor of TV. So they executed the one what killed him because it was a pot assassination. I told us we originally they decided to do that because, again, the ratings were going down, BBC were going down, and they offered Leslie Nantham, and then they begged Leslie Nantham to come back. The price is low, it's Dirty Den. And we all know the rest is history. But originally in 1989, that would have been the day when Leslie Nantham, his Dirty Den, went bye-bye and he left the show. I always remember the day, I remember it well. And at that era, you know what I mean, Leslie Nantham did get into other stuff, you know what I mean? He did a TV series on ITV about a boxer's club. And he did other shows as well, Let's Not Protect the Paradise Club. And so on. So Leslie Nantham did do a lot of other things. He made test appearances here and there. But a lot of people always remember him as Dirty Den, you know, from EastEnders. You know what I mean? The original bad boy and so on. Now, I'm not going to discuss the stuff he's done. We all know the history of Leslie Nantham. But yeah, I also remember 1989. I also remember the famous canal scene. I remember once having a lot of humour when my dog was around. I was walking near to now, and I made a sarty comment on that. But yeah, that's the last episode of Dirty Den, a review on it. What to think of it? I always felt there was a lot more of Leslie Anthem. It was his last role as Dirty Den at that era. I thought we should have had a lot more action in it. I weren't really asked about any of the other characters in it at the time. That was just matting and pacing. I get it, it's TV viewing. So they've got to run the set through and the time to show that. But I just felt myself, this was the last time you got to see Dirty Den, and he's only in it a little bit here, he's in a little bit of it there, it's nearly at the end. You get shot off screen, you get the effect, the sound effect. I'm not going to go back onto that. You know what I mean? That's all you got. And that was it. That was it. Hell, I've seen big stars get off a lot better. I remember when Batsy Duffy got won over. That was more, you had more screen time with Batsy Duffy in fucking Darius before you got resurrected than what you got to see there. But for what it was, I didn't mind it. I thought there's a lot of history that the actor what both was shot dead was stint and he needed a lift. And the funny story was Leslie Namford gave him a lift to wherever it is he wanted to go. I thought the story of that was very funny. But yeah, the rest of it, yeah, it was interesting. It was alright. I never really watched EastEnders that much after that. But that was one of the episodes from 1989 when Leslie Namford originally went bye-bye to the series. And that was in the EastEnders, back in that era. But into them, I'll probably talk a bit more about souls, review a bit more about other stuff later on. But into them, be smart, be safe. See you later.